So you have around 350,000 naira, or let's say $230 for a smartphone, and you're contemplating which phone should you go for between the Infinix Note 50 Pro and the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. Which one of them gives you the best value for your money? Well, on my video today, I'm going to break everything down, right, from the design, the performance, the camera, and once I'm done, I'm sure you would have found your answer on which one to go. And I'll also give you my final verdict on which one I would love to go if I had just 350k naira to spend, or let's say $230 to spend on a smartphone between both of them. Okay, so guys, if you love the information you're about to get from this video, kindly give it a thumbs up. And if you love tech reviews, gadget reviews, that is what I do here on my channel. All you need to do is to click on the subscribe button below and turn on the bell notification icon, so that when I create more videos like this, which definitely I will, you'll be the first to get notified. Okay, now, even though both devices have their own 5Gs, it is worthy of note that currently here in my region, the 5G is not available for sale yet. Okay, so once it's available, I will let you guys know on my channel. So guys, let's get started with the unboxing experience. Now, for the unboxing, it is pretty identical for both phones. Okay, so inside you're going to see, a really nice case for protection. You see the warranty slip, you see the charging brick, you see the USB cable, all right, and every other accessory. And now I'm going to give Tecno and Infinix a thumbs up for this, because all these accessories we're seeing in the box is what our flagship devices remove. Even we spend millions upon millions to get those flagship devices, we still don't see all these accessories that Tecno and Infinix added. Like they even added, earpiece. Come on. Now to design and body build. So when it comes to design, it's actually subjective, right? You have what you like. I also have what I like, and it's maybe different. But regardless of how both phone looks, right? They both look premium. Now for the Tecno Camon 40 Pro, this makes of a similar camera position design, right? We kind of see on other phones, okay? And holding this phone, you're going to notice that it makes of a plastic rear and a plastic frame, okay? But even though it has plastic frame and plastic rear, that does not mean this one is not strong, because it is made with Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, which is one of the strongest on the smartphone as of today, which means you can drop your phone from a very high distance, and even if it falls on the floor, your phone is still safe. Yes, just as you can see what is happening right here on your screen. Okay, and so has IP68/9 water and dust tight resistant, so you can submerge your phone underwater. You can unbox your phone underwater and your phone is still safe. Yes, but because I said you can submerge your phone underwater, does not mean if I should choose the Tecno Camon 40 Pro by the end of this video, you just can do it. Don't call my name. Yes, so this is actually very impressive for the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. Now, for the Infinix Note 50 Pro, I really love how the cameras are being shaped. Is actually different, right? So when it comes to the rear, it uses this aluminum frame and aluminum rear, okay, which makes it look more premium than the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. But now, regardless of the rear and all, the Tecno Camon 40 Pro is more durable than the Infinix Note 50 Pro. So why do I say so? The Infinix Note 50 Pro still uses IP64 water and dust tight resistance. So in terms of dropping a phone inside water, the Tecno is going to survive more than that of the Infinix. And once you get this Infinix phone, it can only survive probably splashes of water, but not being submerged underwater like we saw on the Tecno Camon 40 Pro unboxing. So now when it comes to the look, the Infinix Note 50 Pro has a more premium feel and a more premium look. I love it. All right. But now when it comes to the durability, how strong this is, it goes to the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. Now for the design, they are both going head to head, just like they did on the unboxing. So now let's move on to the next one, which is the display. Both phones have a 6.78-inch 1080p AMOLED display, but there are some key differences. The Infinix Note 50 Pro has a flat screen and mixes of 144 Hz refresh rate. This is actually one of the fastest on any smartphone. It means your gaming, your day-to-day activities, social media, anything you're doing on your phone is going to feel a lot more smoother. And look at the bezels. It feels like they are not existent because of how tiny they are. This is actually impressive. Now, let's look at that of the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. This mix of 120 Hz refresh rates. Both phones also make use of 1300 nits brightness, which means you can press both phones under a very, very bright environments. In terms of the display, they are still going head to head. Do you want a faster and smoother phone with tiny bezels, or do you want a phone that you are sure that even if it falls on the floor, it is still safe without any scratch or dents? Okay. Do you want a phone whereby if you want to get the screen guard, for example, flat screen guard are very easy to get. But when it comes to the Tecno Camon 40 Pro, because it has a curved display, right, it's actually hard to find a perfect screen guard to protect it. But why does Tecno need protection when it is drop resistance, right? So let's move on to the next one, which is the performance and the chipset. Now, this is the powerhouse of every smartphone. It tells you what your smartphone can do and cannot do actually. So both phones mix up the MediaTek Helio G100 as its processor, right? So what does this mean? Now, you can actually perform a day-to-day tasks very, very well, very smooth, okay? But when it comes to gaming, you can play your Call of Duty, PUBG, but if you're a heavy gamer, you're going to notice that as time goes on, probably maybe few months after getting the phone, or your game start to lag and your phone starts overheating, because now this processor is not the best on a smartphone for gaming. Okay, so you don't expect it to perform like Snapdragon or probably the Apple chip, right? But it can actually handle decent games. But when it comes to pro gamers, then chipset on both phones will not really take you in the long run. But the Infinix Note 50 Pro, it has either the 12 gig RAM or the 8 gig RAM variant, right? With 256 gig storage, and you can actually double your RAM if you need more. So that 12 can actually go to 24 and it can actually go to 16. But for the Tecno Camon 40 Pro, it has just the 8 gig RAM and 256 gig storage units. So when it comes to using your SD card, both phones do not have an SD card slot, which I think is a bummer on both phones, because it means you have to manage just the 256 gig on that phone. So for the performance again, there is no obvious winner. But even though the Infinix is going to be slightly faster than that of the Tecno. So let's move on to the battery and the charging. Now, this is where the Infinix Note 50 Pro is going to take the win. They both have 5200 mAh battery, and they're actually very solid, which can last you for a very long time. Even if you're playing, normal games or you're handling your day-to-day activities, this battery is going to last you on both devices. For the Tecno Camon 40 Pro, it mixes of the 45 watts fast charging. This means you can charge this phone from 0 to 100%, let's say around 1 hour, right? But now when it comes to the Infinix mix of 90 watt fast charging, that is times 2 of what the Tecno Camon 40 Pro is offering. Wow. And not just that, it also makes use of 30 watts wireless charging and also 10 watts reverse wireless charging. So you can charge this phone wirelessly and also charge your other devices. Let's say you have your Samsung or your iPhone you want to charge. This your Infinix Note 50 Pro is going to charge it wirelessly using 10 watts charging speed. Wow, this is actually insane. So now we've seen in terms of the battery and charging, the Infinix takes the win over here. Now, off to the software and updates. So both phones came out with the Android 15, which is impressive. This is the latest Android version we have right now, but there are slight differences on both of them. Now, the Tecno Camon 40 Pro is promised 3 more years worth of Android updates, which is, let's say, the 15, we have the 16, 17, and 18, while the Infinix Note 50 Pro is probably just 2 years worth of Android updates, which is just the 16 and the 17. Now, both phones runs on their specific OS, which is the iOS 15 for Tecno and the XOS 15 for Infinix. Based on past experience, the Tecno phones are generally more updated before the Infinix. So let's say Tecno is going to get any update first, Android update, any other update first before the Infinix now gets it. Okay, and they both have their own AIs, which is actually amazing. It seems like this year, in short, since last year, 2023, it's all about AI, and both Infinix and Tecno said they would not miss out on this. Okay, but look at the software and the updates, we can see that Tecno takes the win over here. Off to the camera, which phone takes a better shot? What can these cameras take? Right, so both phones have their main camera to be 50 MP, okay, and an 8 MP ultra wide camera. But now the Tecno Camon 40 Pro has an advantage because it uses a Sony LYT 700C sensor, which has the faster shutter speed. And now this feature on the phone is called the flash snap, which automatically captures photos of moving subjects very, very fast. So let's say, for example, you want to take pictures of your kids playing or probably your pets or anything using the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. It's going to get those pictures very, very accurate, no matter how fast that person or the object of snap is moving. Now, for the selfie camera, the Tecno Camon 40 Pro has a 50 MP selfie camera, while the Infinix 50 Pro has a 32 MP selfie camera. Both phones can shoot 2K videos at 30 FPS. All right, but now when it comes to the picture quality, the video quality, and all, even though both phones will be very decent, it's going to be very nice, but you should not expect a flagship level camera. Let's say maybe Samsung, Google Pixel, iPhone, and the rest of them. So for the cameras, even though there's just a slight difference between both of them, Tecno still takes the win because of the flash snap and also the higher megapixel. Now, to my final verdict, which one should you go for if you have just 350k naira or let's say $230 to spend? Which one do I want to go for if I have that money to spend? Now, before I give my final verdict, I want you guys to know that I've started sharing smart tips right on other platforms like my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok. Now, these videos are really too short for me to just make a whole long video just like this one on this page. So I'm going to be sharing those videos on other platforms. Okay, anywhere you're active in, you're going to see the link in the description box below. And not just sharing guys smart tips over there. I'll be doing giveaways, yes. Okay, and these giveaways will be for my most active viewers. Okay, I'll be doing them on all those platforms. So check out the description box below for those links to just go follow me over there and get updated on everything on your gadgets. Okay, now back to my final verdicts. So we've seen that from the unboxing, the camera, the performance, the battery, both phones have been going head to head. Do you want the phone that has a more premium feel, an insane charging speed, wireless charging, right? Then go for the Infinix Note 50 Pro. Or do you want the phone that is more durable in terms of the drop resistance and the water resistant? Do you want the phone that has a slightly better camera and also a longer software support? Then go for the Tecno Camon 40 Pro. But if you had to ask me, smart tips, which one will you go for? Which one will I go for? It's actually a hard choice for me to make, right? Because I've thought about this. Which one should I go for? But at the end of the day, I had to just settle down for the Infinix because I want a phone with faster charging speed, wireless charging. I love that. Even if I cannot play the heaviest game online, right? But I can still handle all this stuff because it's going to be faster with the 144 Hz refresh rate. Okay, so as you can see, this is what I'll be going for the Infinix. But guys, let me know in the comment section which one you're going to be going for. Are you going to follow my own way and go for the Infinix, or are you going to go for the Tecno Camon 40 Pro? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you got something from it, and also subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification icon for more videos like this. So guys, I'll be seeing you in my next video as we discover the smart online tips.